Coming up next, we'll look at the differences between a manager and a leader. And then it's volume 2 of Funny Workplace Fails. You don't want to miss that. And your calls and your chats. And it starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how to get there. You were created to fill a unique role in your work. That means you are needed, but it also means you must do it. And so we're going to talk about the path to meaningful work. We're going to talk about the need for you to discover what that unique role is. We call it the sweet spot, where there are multiple jobs, career paths, and even what some would call dream jobs. You use what you do best, talent, to perform work you love, passion, to accomplish results that matter deeply to you. That's mission. And when you're using your talent to perform your passion, to accomplish your mission, you're in your sweet spot. And people look at you and say, she was born for this. He was born to do that. And then the meaning that you feel in your work is euphoric. It's going to make you a better person as well in your personal life. And it resurrects those Mondays. Instead of misery, you've got meaning. 844-747-2577 is the number. I'm fired up today, Joseph. I'm excited, and I got to tell you, this new segment we're doing, the Funny Workplace Fails, Joe, be ready for this too. I purposely don't share these with you all so that you can enjoy them as well. So that's going to be fun. But first, very interesting article. How to tell if you're a manager or a leader, and 3 ways to be more of the latter. And this is very interesting. Joe, it does not tell me who this article is from, and I want to give credit. I'm guessing it's Forbes or Fortune. If we could, Forbes, thank you. Got to give the old credit, folks. So this is what she said. The author of the article is Amy Blashka, and this is what she says. A manager's job is all about controlling elements to achieve a specific goal. They manage things, projects, scope, budget, timeline, processes. By contrast, a leader's job is less about control and more about the ability to influence, motivate, and enable others to contribute towards organizational success. I don't disagree. So here are 3 ways that she lays out to move from the manager mentality to more of a leader. And I'm more on this in just a second. Number 1, she says, relinquish your need for control. There's a reason they call it micromanaging and not micro-leading. Not every manager is a micromanager. I think that's right. But too often, it's about control. Relinquish your need for control. I love that. Now, I'm going to add to what she said. When you go from, because I believe you can be in a manager position and turn yourself into a leader, a true leader. And that's what she's writing about. So in relinquishing control, look to establish influence. Influence, not control. Big difference. Can you influence others to act on their own in a way that you need them to act? That's not manipulation. It's just influencing their decisions. Number 2, put people before processes. I agree with this. A leader looks at a situation and go, we might have rules, we might have processes here, but I'm going to look at this individual and this individual situation, and I'm going to do what is best for all. And number 3, model true leadership. And there's tons of books out there, but I'm going to tell you, I think she's right, but I'm going to tell you what I define. You want to model what a real leader looks like and acts like? Be a servant. Be a servant. Jim Collins in Good to Great, if you want to go look that up, and you could skip to the level 5 leader content. He really does a wonderful job from research, but also articulating what the research shows. That level 5 leaders, it's about us, not me. It's about the team success, not my success. It's about the organization success, not my success. Therein lies the heart of a servant leader, or as Jim Collins calls it, the level 5 leader. You're serving something greater than yourself. And when you're doing that, leadership isn't that complex. Will it be hard? Sure, it's leadership. The best thing about leadership is people. The worst thing about leadership is people. But if you have this servant mentality, you're going to be a very effective leader. Serve. In everything you do, am I serving the individual? Am I serving the team? Am I serving the organization well? That's the litmus test. That's how you know. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to Naomi in British Columbia, Canada. Naomi, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Good morning.
How are you, Naomi?
I'm cold, actually.
Hey, you and me
here.
both. But I suspect that my cold is tropical compared to your cold here in Nashville.
Yeah, it's about minus 27 here right now, and that's in Celsius, so it's pretty cold.
Haven't we reached a point, Naomi, in 2021 where as a civilized world, no one should be allowed to live in places where it gets to be minus 25? Don't you think we've reached that moment?
I agree with that 100%.
And yet there you are. There you are.
There I am.
Bless your heart. You can't even go outside when it's that cold, can you?
Well, unfortunately, I have to because I have 4 dogs that I have to take outside to do their business. So
I would train those dogs to do their business without you. I'll tell you, that's what I'd be doing. That'd be priority number 1 for me. Hey, listen, doggy, you got to go do your business. I'll be in here watching for you to come back to the door. Yikes. All right, Naomi, how can we help?
All right. So I've had a business plan going on for a couple of years now, and I have everything in order, but for some reason I keep stalling on it, and I can't figure out what my problem is, to be honest with you.
Tell me, what do you mean by I've got everything in order, but I'm stalling? What does that mean?
It means so my business plan is to do like an upcycling little store with some artwork and it's a little retail thing with upcycled stuff. There's zero overhead. I have the space rent-free. I have equipment to make my own T-shirts. I have everything, piles of stuff to refurbish and everything like that, and I'm very good at it. I have a business license and everything else. I just am not doing it. I don't know why.
Oh, my goodness. This is fascinating to me. I know why you're not doing it.
Why am I not doing it?
Fear.
I think, that's probably what it is. It's fear.
Well, I know it is. But
okay,
what I don't know is fear of what? It's probably 1 or 2 things. And I'm guessing there's probably a spoonful or 2 of doubt mixed into the fear.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
I know. So let's just do what we do here on the show. Let's just expose your fear. Let's put it on the witness stand. But I need you to tell me as raw and as authentically as you can what you're afraid of. You got everything. You have no risk. There's zero risk.
That's exactly why I have a problem with this. Like myself.
What are you afraid of? It's not financial failure. Couldn't be, because I know that you're a sane individual.
And I have a job. And
what are you afraid of?
Failure, I guess.
What kind of failure? There's no chance that you could fail financially. This is as risk-free as a side hustle as I've ever heard of in my entire career.
Judgment, maybe.
There it is.
Judgment.
Who's judging you? Who would judge you?
I have no idea. Other people that do the same thing, I guess.
There we go. You do know. Don't tell me anymore. No longer on this phone call am I going to accept from you that you don't know. You do know, because these thoughts are racing through your head. That's why you're paralyzed. You have analysis paralysis is what you've got.
Okay.
Am I right?
It sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, because you're analyzing. You're like, people are going to judge me. People are going to judge me. Who's going to judge you? People who do what you do that are in the same business? Really?
Yeah.
Who gives a crap what they think? Are they your customers?
No, not necessarily. It's more like not so much about them judging me in a negative way, more than that. I hate to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm very good at what I do, and I see a lot of people that are not very good at what I do.
And you're worried about. Wait a second. So you're
worried about hurting their feelings.
Oh, stop it. Naomi, are you for real? Do you really believe that?
I think so. I don't know. And also, I just don't understand it. These things are so easy for me. Like, it takes me 5 minutes to do something. That
Naomi,
are like,
stop
I'm
it.
Pay you $1,000 for
Naomi,
that.
stop it. All right, now I want you to listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
And I want you to get outside of you for a second. I want you to listen as though I was talking about me, okay? Because
Okay.
here's what you just said. I want to repeat it to you.
Okay.
Ken, I'm not doing what. I'm sorry. Let me change it. Naomi, I'm not doing the show that I want to do. I'm not writing books that I want to write. And the reason is because I'm so good at it. I don't want to hurt other people's feelings that are in the same space I am. I don't want them to hear the Ken Coleman Show and think, oh gosh, Ken is so much better than me. That's what you just said. You are laughing at yourself because it is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard in your life. Am I right?
Yep.
Hey, Joe, we need to stop the show here in a couple minutes because it just occurred to me that I'm so good at what I do in helping the Naomis of the world that there are other people that are in the career and calling and live on purpose space, and I'm afraid that they hear the show and they're going to feel bad about themselves.
Okay, you got me there.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a big, giant excuse.
It is, and I make a lot of excuses.
Yeah, but there's a reason. It's because it's because you think you're going to fail at this.
That's what it is.
I know. It has nothing to do with how good you think you are.
I'm so used to people taking everything away from me, too. That's the other thing, too. I feel like I'm going to get it all built up.
Now we're getting
take
somewhere.
It all away.
Who's going to take this business away from you?
Well, first of all, my partner owns the building that it's in, and he keeps saying that he might sell it. So then it's like, well, I thought I had this plan, and you were supporting me, and now you want to sell the space. So
well, that he can't take the business from you.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
You might sell the place, but if you're so good at this, and I really believe that you believe that about yourself, that you're really good. These are all silly excuses. You are trying so hard to make yourself a nice person to explain why you're paralyzed. And the good news is you've had enough. You're sick of it. That's why you called me today.
It is. I've been listening to your show for a while now, and every day I'm like, I should just call him. And then I chicken out, and then and I'm like, no, I should do it.
You're awesome. First of all, you're awesome. You're very brave. You're very courageous to call up and do this. But Naomi, I've had enough fun. You're making excuses. You're scared out of your mind.
Agreed.
There's nothing to be scared of. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares if he sells the building? You go somewhere else. You do it out of your garage. I don't care. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, started it in his garage. Naomi, I don't want to hear any more excuses from you.
Okay.
Because here's the deal, Naomi. This is the moment. This is the moment right now. This is the moment in your life. Because I believe what I'm about to say. You either decide today that you're going to do this, or you will never do it. And you will be an old lady and who will be just full of regret if you don't do this.
Okay.
Today.
Sounds fair.
Right. So let's what is the number one thing we need to do right now? What is the first thing that we do today that creates forward moving inertia? What is it?
Start.
Yeah. How? Is it a website, or is it just start taking the stuff into the office and setting it up and putting the word out, telling everybody, hey, I'm selling this, this, and this. Bring your stuff in.
Getting some more inventory ready is what it is, actually.
Well, get it ready. Start telling everybody today. Make an announcement today. How are you going to make an announcement that you're ready? What was your plan?
For making an announcement when I'm ready?
Yeah. What were you going to do?
Start a Facebook page.
Start it today. Start it today. Start it today. Do all those things today because you have something to sell right now. Yes or no?
Yeah, I do.
Start it today.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
Today, Naomi. Today. You hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, you better. The reason I said that like that is I want that to haunt you until you do it today. And then I expect an email. Email the show, ask@kencoleman.com. Joe, I want you to check the emails tonight. Before you go to bed, Joe, I better have an email in my inbox. Not from you, Joe, but from Naomi that you forward to me. Naomi, ask@kencoleman.com. I want you to email and say, Ken, I launched the Facebook page and I told everybody I was doing it. Do you understand?
Okay.
If you don't, I'm going to find a way to haunt you. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't believe in ghosts, but I got to figure out how to haunt you. Because, Naomi, this is your gift to the world. You know it and I know it, so go do it. Love you, Naomi. You got this. Charla's up next in Seattle, Washington. Charla, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Oh, my goodness. That was such a great coaching call. And I'm just so
you.
excited and blessed to be on the phone with
Well,
you.
good, because I'm all warmed up
Good.
and fired up now. So you got me fired up. I'm ready for you. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm not sure when to make the leap from a paycheck job to my passion.
Love it.
Which is currently my passion is currently contracted work and entrepreneurial endeavors.
Okay. Tell me more. Tell me more real quick about what this contracted work is so that I understand it.
Well, it's amazing. I recently did an 80-day expedition with a company called NOLS, National Outdoor Leadership School.
Okay. And
that expedition turned into a job opportunity. So here I am training to become an instructor for them.
Nice.
Yet those expeditions for backpacking, kayaking, caving, canoeing, rafting are contracted 2-week, 30-day gigs, maybe 90 days.
Okay.
Once you're really kind of like seasoned. But to give you more detail, I'm a 34-year-old Black female who, prior to COVID, was pursuing my mission by helping people deal with stress and burnout as a lifestyle and wellness coach, massage therapist, and yoga instructor, seeking to lead adventurous wellness retreats and expeditions in the Pacific Northwest.
Love it.
Yet currently I'm driving for Amazon mixed with overtime and odd jobs.
Got it.
So a little bit more. I'm $30K in debt, and after listening to the Ramsey cohort, I'm on baby step number 2.
Good.
Getting out of debt with gazelle intensity. Yet I literally have opportunities at my fingertips, and within the proximity principle, I'm now getting technically trained with my passion job, backpacking and kayaking in the outdoors. Also, I am gaining attention from other people. Brands are reaching out to me for various ambassador gigs, paid content creation, and even modeling gigs as a Black female.
What?
In the adventure. Yeah.
Hold on. So
industry.
You're giving me so much information right now. I got to pause so I can keep up with you. This is great.
Yeah,
so are you talking about on social media? They're coming after you?
Yes.
What are you, an Instagram rock star? What's going on? Tell me more.
That's what's amazing is I'm not an Instagram rock star.
Well, then
I'm not.
Where's your platform that they're coming after you for?
Well, it is Instagram. But I have like 350 followers, right? Like, it's not something I've really put so much effort into, like, I'm an influencer and this is what I do, but it's coming to me. It's like the universe is like,
why do you think that is? Well, first of all, it's not the universe. I appreciate what you're saying, but this is because you've got something special. So they're seeing it in you. What is it? You think it's because you're an African-American female who loves the outdoors? What's the novelty? There's something where they're going, she is intriguing or attractive to us. Is it just pure modeling, or what's going on?
I think in some aspects, it's that people say, yes, we like your face for our brand and style, but also for my personal story. I'm from Spokane, Washington, and long story short, after I graduated from Loyola Chicago, I worked in Japan for 6 years and ended up circumnavigating the globe with a company called Peace Boat. And when I came back to the Pacific Northwest, my eyes were amazed and opened about, here I was in my 20s going all over the world, you know. By the time I was 30, I'd been to 30 countries, and I came back to my home, and I'm like, Charla, here you were in the Magellan Strait, jonesing to see a whale, and here they are right here, and so here we are. I love that. My mantra, especially to people from the Pacific Northwest, I say, we always think the grass is green on the other side, but we have it right here in the Pacific Northwest. And I just aspire with my love for traveling and seeing the world. I want to show people that, right here.
All right. So,
and what we have.
So you are an amazing woman. I'm going to tell you that right now. You have just lit me up. I'm on fire. Okay. So let's get back to where we were, because I just wanted to know a little bit more about what was going on with this offer. So, because I'm trying to piece all this together. So we're going to walk through this really practically. When do you, based on your current, the Amazon job and some other odd jobs, when do you anticipate paying off the $30,000 in debt?
You know, with the gazelle intensity that I have, I honestly plan to pay it off this year with just
not surprised
really
at all.
focusing.
Okay, great news. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
the question you asked me, I want to get back into your question. So you've gotten more opportunities now to do more of this dream type work, which is I'll just call it guiding others, and just, lots of wonderful revelation and life coaching. It all comes together. It's kind of what you were doing prior to COVID, but now you're doing it outdoors as opposed to in a massage room. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm caught up. So here's my take. If you could, because of the seasonal nature of this this contracted work as a guide, those opportunities are going to still be there, and the fact that that companies are calling you for modeling or the influencer ambassador role, I'd take all of those. Those are all good decisions, I think, as long as they meet your values. You got to stay in your values. You got to connect to it, or it won't be authentic, and you know that. I'd say yes to all that. But I would not leave the stability of your current job until you get out of debt and get that emergency fund in place. That's when you move from the paycheck job to the passion job, because you need to be in a financial place where you can go all in on that. Make sense?
Okay.
So it's like running the numbers. Yes. And I also think, but what I would try to do is I would try to keep doing the paycheck job, making these connections, and then try to find the right move to where it is a full-time thing or a different paycheck job that gives you even more leniency and flexibility. Does that make sense? Because you kind of work up to it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, listening to you, I've also been curious, like, okay, well, I know I have strength with marketing and social media. I have yet to really do that on my own platform, but I've been thinking that is something, if I did create that, it would allow me to do this remote flexibility. That
you've got to start doing that for yourself.
Income.
You got to start doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you, Charlotte, this is rare. People with 350 followers on Instagram don't normally get phone calls from brands who want them to represent them. So this is an opportunity that you must seize. And I think now's the time to do it, because you can seize this opportunity based on your story, your look, your unique offering in this very vibrant industry. The outdoor world, that's not going anywhere. I think it's going to explode even more as a result of this pandemic. And so I think you can capitalize on that, build your brand, build your platform, in income as well, while you're busting this debt. And once you're debt free and you have the emergency fund, you are unfettered. There's nothing tying you down. And so it would be just stay smart. And then we want to step into it. It's just like every other piece of advice I give people with side hustles. You keep doing the side hustle, you dump all that money back into it, keep building it. And when you've got the money to transition to where there's no real interruption in income or your basic expenses, that's when you make the move.
Okay.
But those trips, you guiding those trips, those aren't going anywhere. You can get to those once you get out of debt and get stable. So now's this time of knocking out debt, but also creating a really good plan for the transition. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Those trips are always going to be there. You got momentum like crazy. So I think this is all going the right direction. I'm really proud of you, Charla. You got to come to Nashville. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet you and share your story.
My goodness.
No, I'm serious.
Absolutely.
I would put you on the show. I'd put you in the studio with me on the YouTube show and let people hear your journey. I think it's really, really cool. And I love that you've got a unique niche. And I love that you are not allowing yourself to be labeled. Don't label yourself either. You hear me?
Yes.
Don't label yourself.
Absolutely.
You should be proud of your heritage, but don't just label yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like you are unique. And I love your story. Really great. Thanks for sharing. In fact, what I want to do is, Madison, Charla, great call. Thanks for the call. I want to know more have Charla send us a little bit more about what she's doing, her Instagram account and all that kind of stuff. I want to kind of track that and see what's going on. Because I love that story. I really love, what I love is the uniqueness of her journey. So Stay in touch with us, Charla, and let you know how you do. I'd love to share more of that. That's really fun. 844-747-2577 is the number. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the chat room, and you don't want to miss Volume 2 of Funny Workplace Fails. Joe, you won't believe these stories. Please, don't let it be you. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, coming to you from our Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters. Excited to have you with us. Coming up in a few minutes, Funny Workplace Fails. We did our first volume on this, and Nathan, the director, Trevor, the YouTube guru, making your title up as I go along. They said, we like that. We want some more of that. So I'm excited. I got some good ones today. I've got some more fabulous workplace fails. And here's why I'm bringing this up. We don't just want to entertain you. We want to hear yours. Now, we'll change your name, or if it's about a friend or a coworker or whatever, we'll change all the details if we have to. But we want to hear your funny workplace fails. I mean, you were humiliated. You did this, and you waded through it. You lived to tell about it. Ask at kencoleman.com. Put in there workplace fail. I want to hear your stories. You can also reach out on Instagram at Ken Coleman. You can DM me, and we'll get it that way. And also our Facebook page. Search the Ken Coleman Show. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, to the chat room, Stacy writes in, is it possible to make my grocery store food delivery side hustle a full-time job? I think so. I don't know why you couldn't. Right now, what is really going on is you are delivering groceries for a block of time in your week. I'm presuming this. So you have to start to weigh, well, what am I making per hour or per day, however you want to start to run those numbers, start to really track your income as a part-timer. And then say, what would need to be true? How many hours, how many customers would I have to be able to serve in grocery delivery to allow me to step out of my full-time job and do this full-time? So figure that out. Start telling everybody. Tell your current customers, hey, if you're happy with what I'm doing, I want to do this full time. Would you help me line up several other people? Would you make a recommendation? I'm willing to give you 2 free grocery items if you start recommending me. Give people incentive to talk about you. If they like you, then they're the key to you getting a full-time gig. They tell everybody they know, look, I don't ever go to the grocery store anymore, and it's because of Stacy. So you should use her. Here's why I use her. And go. Jennifer writes in, the company I work for is being approached by a competitor company to be acquired. I'm scared it may actually happen. I love my job. What do? Relax, number 1. Number 2, begin to think through if it gets sold and the new owners come in, what would I want them to know about me? Does my current leader value me? If the answer is yes, then go to that leader and go, hey, I know we're in the process of potentially being acquired. I love my job. I want to stay here. Would you help me? I mean, do you know, are they going to keep most of us? Are they going to completely, just get a sense for what's going on. And for the purpose of being transparent to say, I love my job. I want to work just as hard for the new owners as I work for you because I love my job. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. There's no reason to tiptoe around that conversation. Have that conversation. Meet it head on. I can't imagine that, I don't know anything about the business, but I can't imagine that it's going to be a situation where everybody that's currently working for the job is going to get fired. It's not like this new company's got all these people just sitting around doing nothing and they're just waiting to buy you and gobble you up and put all those people to work. This doesn't happen. So by you taking the bull by the horns and talking to your current leader and saying, hey, can you help me communicate in this process, if it actually happens, by the way, that I want to stay here? I think you just take it head on. Ask at KenColeman.com if you want to email your questions. Instagram at Ken Coleman. You to follow me there, doing all kinds of fun stuff and good content there. All right. You ready for the funny workplace fails? Are we ready? By the way, I'm getting these are like all around the globe. So today we have an international flair. But if you've got a story, a great workplace fail, email the show, ask at KenColeman.com, put in workplace fail, or reach out on Instagram or on Facebook, search the Ken Coleman Show. Which occurs to me, Joe, do you have any really funny stories from the radio days back in Gainesville? You got to be careful right now.
Exactly.
Because they listen. We're on the old station. So I mean, we could protect the innocent, you know. You got any? You say I want you thinking through this as well, Joe.
Okay.
Madison, you got any really funny workplace fails? Nothing at all?
I mean, I've only really worked here, so
That's
no.
not true.
I don't want to rat you out here on the radio.
I don't think that you say that. I don't think you actually have a really embarrassing story about me. But if you do, we would share it.
Not you, maybe Joe.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I love that.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Have you ever fallen asleep at work? Don't answer that question, Joe or Madison. Have you ever fallen asleep at work? Listen to this. In 2013, a very tired German bank employee mistakenly transferred, listen to this, $222,222,222.22, I should say cents, euros, to the bank account of a very surprised retiree after falling asleep with his head against the keyboard. I mean, the chances of you falling asleep, your head hitting the keyboard so perfectly on the two, can you imagine? And I don't know how the transfer went through, but the retiree called the bank. There's been a mistake. Now that's an honest person. 222 million euros. Fascinating to me. Here's where my brain goes. How did his head not hit a 3 or a 1? It was $222,222,222.22. Fascinating. Yeah, just boom, 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 going right at it. Oh boy. That's why you need the coffee or the energy drinks if you're feeling tired. Okay, this is fun. British-born Rochelle Peachy, who is the founder of I Love Your Accent dating service, describes her worst day at work at a New York management company. It was her first day, and she arrived to find her new boss in a particularly bad mood, having just found out that her British husband had cheated on her. The boss spent the entire day bad-mouthing British people for their terrible teeth, filthy bathing habits, and tight-fistedness with money. This left the heavily British accented Peachy with two choices. It's her first day. Her boss is just insulting British people like crazy. She's British. She either admits to her English heritage and hope for the best, or pretend to be an American, using an American accent and saying American words like awesome. What do you think she chose, Joe?
No accent.
She chose to act like and talk like an American.
I knew it.
Oh, man. Hey, the first day on the job is already filled with anxiety and all this. And then you're just like, oh, man. Like, if she gets a hint, this boss is going after her British ex or British husband. And if she gets hint that I'm British, I'm in trouble here. Bless her heart. So then you got to act all day. Let me tell you something. I could not do a serviceable British accent without massive amounts of practice. I would be outed as a fraud so quickly. So kudos to her. Okay, here we go. You had one job. This is in the you had one job category. It is human nature for all of us to get a little starstruck when you meet a celebrity. But the worst part is when we get a little shy and just blow it. Martin was a waiter at an Ash Wednesday event hosting Angela Merkel, the Prime Minister of Germany. The pressure was a little too much, and he accidentally poured an entire tray of beers across the lap of the German Prime Minister. Wow. Talk about, that should be like a Southwest Airlines commercial. Want to get away? You know what I mean? When you're that guy, like, I just dumped a tray of beers on the most powerful politician in Germany. This is something that would really steam me. Most of us have a trusted mechanic who we take our car to when we need to get our car fixed. For those who don't, it would be a wise idea to get some recommendations from others. Here's why. Sean took his car in to what he thought was a reputable mechanic until he caught the mechanic joyriding in his car. He was even more appalled after reviewing 7 hours of footage from his dash cam, revealing the culprit boasting, swearing, and joyriding his car at 60 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour speed zone. Now, there's a lot here. If you are a mechanic and you're going to take your client's car out for a joyride, don't you think you might should check if that dash cam is on? It's on the dash, you dolt.
Kind of reminds you of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when the parking attendants take out the Spider or Ferrari or whatever it is.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. Hey, Fred, could you come up to the office? You've had a big time driving around for 7 hours in this guy's car. There he is. Got the dash cam. You want to explain yourself here? Yikes. And the last one, and certainly not least, Joe. Put this in the oops category. Confessions of a paramedic. Yikes. A new mother's first moments with her child should be beautiful and life-changing. But this paramedic reveals a birth story that was memorable for all of the wrong reasons. This from Reddit. As soon as the sucker popped out, this is somebody posted this. As soon as the sucker popped out, she was quite slippery and fell out of my hands right onto the ambulance floor as I was handing her to the mother. In the end, it was okay, but the mother almost murdered me. You think?
Butterfingers.
Hey, really? I mean, when I first read this, I was like, what an idiot. However, you're a paramedic. You're not trained. That's not your everyday job to deliver a baby. All right? Big moment. Is there a bigger moment in life than when a baby's born? It's hard to say there's a bigger moment. This is a miracle happening. Guy gets the baby, and I think he was a little bit excited to hand the baby to the mom. Whoa, hey! Can you imagine dropping the baby on the floor of the ambulance? Oh, my goodness. There it is, folks. Funny workplace fails. Got to know your role. Are you good at it? Got to calm down. Got to be smart here. Lots to unpack there in that Volume 2 edition of Funny Workplace Fails. Again, we'd love to hear your stories or stories about others or stories that you've read. ask@kencoleman.com is the email address. Send them on. All right, Joe, that's going to do it for today. But before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.